So, it looks like Wall Street finally caught a bit of a breather yesterday after that nasty sell-off earlier in the week. Hey everyone, it's Thursday morning, November 6th, and welcome back to Capital Markets Quickie. I'm your host, Endrit Sella, here to break down yesterday's market action in just 2 minutes. Quick note before we dive in, today's episode is brought to you by AMF Capital Asset Management Frankfurt. Learn more about our funds and strategies at amf-capital.de. All right, let's get started. Stocks bounced back on Wednesday as a fresh jobs report showed some much-needed growth in the private sector. The Standard & Poor's 500 gained about 0.4%, the Nasdaq climbed roughly 0.7%, and the Dow added around 0.5%. Not bad for a market that looked pretty shaky the day before. The rebound was led by tech and consumer stocks, with Tesla jumping ahead of its big shareholder meeting on Thursday. But overall, it was a cautious kind of optimism, one that's still very much shaped by politics and policy. First, we got the ADP payrolls data showing that private sector employment rose by 42,000 in October, breaking a 2-month losing streak. That's giving investors some hope that the labor market might still have some life in it, even with the federal shutdown dragging on. Speaking of the shutdown, it officially became the longest in U.S. history on Wednesday, now at 36 days and counting. Experts estimate it's costing the economy about $15 billion a week, and it's even starting to mess with air travel. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court is now weighing whether President Trump even had the authority to impose those massive tariffs in the first place. The justices seemed skeptical, and that's raising questions about what happens next for U.S. trade policy. At the same time, one of the Federal Reserve's newer members said he favors a rate cut at the December meeting, even though some others are calling for a pause. So, yeah, the Fed's messaging is still pretty mixed, and that's keeping investors guessing. In corporate news, McDonald's posted stronger U.S. sales but warned of consumer headwinds, while chipmaker Qualcomm reports after the bell, a key moment for the whole AI and semiconductor story. So, between job growth, policy drama, and earnings headlines, markets managed to find their footing, at least for now. All right, that wraps up today's Capital Markets Quickie. Join me again tomorrow morning for more market updates. See you then.